All right, everyone. It is Scarlet Eve, but you guys can call me Scarlet. And today we are here with Clair Obscur Expedition 33 review. I would call this actually review slash thoughts. Just my thoughts of the game and, overall review of the game. So let's get started. So, first we have graphics, and I'm going to put graphics and art direction together. The game is beautiful. The art is very, very immersive. Once I first load up the game, you guys can watch, either the lives or the videos I made of the lives. I said instantly like how good the game looked and the visuals and the art and the whole overall atmosphere of the game. I really, really enjoyed it. So I'm giving both graphics and art fantastic because it's really, really, really good. Really immersive, and I just love the design of the game. I think they look good. I think the characters look good as well. The world looks good. The coloring, all of it looks really, really nice. So let's get into the music. I had mentioned in like my lives that the music gives me near vibes, and they had a little bit songs kind of like Stellar Blade a little bit, and there was one song that gave me kind of Persona 5 vibes, but the music is amazing. I wonder if the composer of the music is the same as Nier, because it gave me a lot of Nier vibes. Like, I really love the music, and I'm not a big music person when it comes to video games. Like, if the music's not good, I don't really care. As long as the gameplay, the story is good, the music is kind of like fifth nature. Like, I don't really care. But if the music's good, like if the music's great, obviously it's gonna be bumped up. Like last year for Game of the Year, Stellar Blade was like my favorite soundtrack of all the games that came out last year. And this game is gonna be my favorite track for this year. I don't see any other game that's topping it. Like the music just sounds amazing. And I was pissed off last year that Final Fantasy took it. It should never took Stellar Blade's spot for best music. Stellar Blade clears Final Fantasy VII, and I don't care what anyone says. But yes, the music is fantastic. It's amazing. I think I'm gonna have either the continent song where you in the continent play or the intro. But the continent one is my favorite song out the entire OST. All of it's good, but it's my favorite because I think I heard it a lot more and I just got really attached to it. But yeah, the music is amazing. Like the violin, the little music. I forget the instruments in the back. Overall, it's just really good. I love the music. Again, I'm not really a music person, but if it's good, it gives it just so much more flair to the game. Like it also did a good job of like making it feel a little bit like Frenchy with some of like the songs and everything. And I just the music is just great. I love it. It gives me hardcore near Automata vibes, heavily, slightly, very so slightly Stella Blade with certain song, and very, very slightly Persona. Like I gotta go back and figure out what song it was that gave me that vibe, but the music is amazing. So we're gonna give the music fantastic. Okay, next we have the difficulty. So with the difficulty in my experience, um, all you have to do is literally dodge and parry. Like if you're able to hit your parries consistently slash dodges, you're literally not taking any damage at all. Like you're not. But me, as you guys saw, I was fucking up those dodges. I was fucking up those parries. And I don't care what anyone has to say. Um, Certain enemies had different timings on the timing to parry. Some I know there was like some people say it all of it's the same. No, to me it felt like it did. It felt like each enemy had a different timing for their attacks, and you guys saw it took me a while for me to get it for like the bosses I was encountering, for me to get that timing. I mean, it was so bad. It was so bad that um in the beginning, I had lowered the difficulty just to see the difference. And on easier, it is a little bit different, but it's still a little bit hard to hit those parry and dodges, even on easy mode. And then I went back to normal mode. But if you can master the dodges and parries, you're pretty much good. You're pretty much good. Me, unfortunately, I didn't. So I would say it's easy to learn, but hard to master, in my opinion, because I couldn't get those dodges and parries down. And I think they're a little bit more nicer than dodges than parries, and I just couldn't get them. I think if you're like a Souls-like player or whatever, I think it will be like easy to you. Me, I'm kind of like a Souls-like player. I'm currently still playing Wukong, and I'm getting a little bit better with my dodges, but I think with the difficulty, it's not hard, but for me, from my experience, it's easy to learn or hard to master, only because the different enemy types with their timing for parries, I was struggling to get. But other than that, I think objectively, it's easy. So then with bugs, I have not encountered any bugs in my experience. Probably, other people may experience bugs, but I didn't. I didn't experience any bugs at all. So we're gonna go right into the story, and I'm gonna yap about the story because the story is so good. So during like my playthrough, I was confused for, I would say, like 60% of the game, and it's just me just being stupid and not connecting the dots. But I had to watch a video. I think it's called explaining Clair Obscur Expedition 33 in 14 minutes, something like that. And what I finally clicked was how Mael and Alicia was together twined, because I didn't understand. I was like, how are they the same? Why? How did she take over? I didn't get it. So then when I went back and looked at it, I was like, oh, it was because when Alicia, no, let's go back. Let's backtrack a little bit. It was when we guys went in that flashback, and her sister, Claire, called her down and was saying, oh, mother and father is fighting again. Do you think you go in there, like, tell them to stop and have them to come back, because, the writers and the painters are going at each other and she needs more help fighting off the writers. So then when she, with Alicia, went into the painting, her mother got to her, and she, like, lost all of her memories and pretty much came consumed of the world, to where that's when she became the personality Mael, because she lost all her memories of being a paintress and everything and became Mael. And then as time went on, she saw glimpses of herself and her actual real stuff and the reality slowly coming together. That's when she finally fused, after she took out the paintress. And then to find out that world with, Ciel, Lune, Gustave, all that is fake, and all that's a world that Verso created from his canvas, that his mother ended up keeping alive, because she ended up making a copy of Verso, because as we know, Verso died saving Alicia, and by doing that, she kept his canvas alive, with only leaving his soul alive to keep that canvas going, because they wouldn't let him rest. And they made another paint of, like, Verso, to where everything we just know about that world, Exorcism world, was all a lie, all made up by little Verso's imagination, that should have been closed, but the mother couldn't take the fact that he died, so they kept that going. And that's really just like a mind fuck right there. It's like, damn, Ciel, Lune, Gustave, they're not real. Eske, Monaco, they weren't real. They were all fake. All from Verso's imagination. I mean, yes, sure, they are real in that world that Verso's creative, but they're not in reality. And I was like, wow, that's an interesting take. And then, because I got a few notes here, And then also at the end, where Verso versus Mael ideals, where Verso wants to close the canvas and not be forced to stay alive no more and finally move on, versus Mael, she doesn't want that because she doesn't want to lose her friend Ciel, Lune, ultimately Gustavo, and that's what we saw in her ending. She became like her mother because her mother kept that world alive for Verso's honor, but now she kept it alive because she came consumed with that world and became attached to those characters, to where she became the paintress and she's keeping Verso painting. Verso's like, no, we're wiping everyone out, essentially, because it's not real and he wants to rest. He doesn't want to keep moving on because he's supposed to be dead. And as you guys saw in the video of the finale, it made me feel really bad because I thought the Mael ending was probably going to be the good ending, but no. And how he was begging, please, I don't want this, please, I'm begging you. I was like, ugh, this doesn't feel good. This doesn't feel good at all. So once we did Verso's ending, it felt more satisfying. Both endings were good, but Verso just felt more satisfying because, one, obviously he wasn't begging, he was at peace. Two, we saw the family, Alicia, her father, mother, and her sister finally came together. And then we just see everyone from the Exhibition worlds, waving goodbye. It felt more satisfactory, even though we're saying goodbye to the gang. Versus with Mael, it had a little bit of eeriness to it, because we know they're not real people, and we're first seeing Verso to be alive, and now Mael's suffering because she's trying to keep this world alive. You see her face covered in paint like her mother was, and she's like gonna slowly crumble away, which is sad. So both endings are good. I think both of them are equally good. It's just that Verso's just felt more satisfying because he wasn't begging. He was at peace. He was finally put to rest. He could finally stop painting that world. And what's also really sad was, once I watched that video of it explaining to him, I really understand what Maya was coming from, because she realized her life wasn't really worthy, and she felt more happy being inside the canvas, and she had no desire to leave the canvas, which is sad because she's kind of right. I mean, she has her sister, but she doesn't have close bonds like she did in the expedition canvas, which is really sad. That, and also, she can talk and everything. It don't have those berms in that world versus in the real one, reality. And with all that yapping, we're giving the story fantastic. The story is really good. It's a very, very unique take. I like how they gave you a choice for Verso's ending and then Mael's ending and the two parallels, because they're both right. Well, no. They're both good, but Verso's is right because his is, the more logical sense. Come back to reality. Don't live in the fantasy. Versus Mael want to stay in the fantasy because that's what she's happier at. And that kind of tugs on how it is in today's world. But the story is fantastic. And then next we have is the gameplay. Okay, so like I said with the difficulty section, basically if you're able to master the parrying and the dodges, you're pretty much good. You're not taking any damage. But what I really like about the gameplay is that it brings an interesting take to turn-based games to make it more fun and engaging. Now, I have heard that there's other games that does this too. I just don't know. Never heard of them, never played, but I know there's some that also do this. But it just makes turn-based game more fun and engaging, where you have a chance to fight back, parrying the attacks, and ultimately doing more damage if you hit all your parries and you do that burst of expedition attack you do with your group or with that character if you don't dodge and parry their attacks. And that made it more fun. I mean, also the animations that the character did for their attacks is also really nice. And I just think it's just really good. I really, really enjoyed the dodging and the parrying mechanic and now it kind of messed me up for future turn-based games. Them not having that, you just kind of had the force to take that attack that the enemy launches at you, instead of having that chance to parry it and dodge it. So that's gonna suck moving forward, or playing different turn-based games of not having that element, because Expedition 33 spoiled me. I love that, and it's gonna suck playing a different turn-based game that doesn't have that mechanic, because that's a really good mechanic. So I say that the gameplay is really fun. It's fun. I enjoyed it. I wouldn't say like I love turn-based games. Like I love Persona. I think Persona's awesome, but Expedition 33 with that dodge and parry mechanic, it's just chef's kiss. I love that mechanic. So our game length. So I have spent. This is supposed to do 30 to 60. So my gameplay was around the 30 to 60 hour mark, and that's just me just kind of just burning through the main story. I know I looked it up. You can play this game up to 50 hours if you do the side quests, the extra bosses. You can get this up to 50 hours. I just didn't do that because I was mainly focused on main story and to get through the game for you guys. But I could have played this longer of doing all the side stuff. Okay, the replayability. So with the replayability, I know I can play this a handful of times. I know I can, especially going back and playing it on extreme mode to see how I do with extreme mode, and seeing if I can master the parrying and dodges, and doing different builds for different characters. I know I did showed you guys a little bit of different builds I did, because I watched a video of like how to play the characters more effectively. But yeah, I can definitely play this game a handful of times. Not unlimited though, but a handful of times. Probably like at most, for me personally, play it 3 times. And then the score. So this is all subjective, not objectively. This is what I think, this is what I feel about the game. So overall, my experience, and this is a AA, I think, studio or indie studio, one of the two. This is not a AAA game, this is a smaller studio. The fact that a smaller studio, which we have seen this time in and time again with these smaller studios making these games and end up beating out the AAA studios. My experience with this game was amazing. I'm actually so shocked how good this game was, because when this game was like first teased and shown, I was like, I'll try it out. You know, I may not enjoy it, but let's try it out. And also like the price point, I got it on sale when it was like $48. So I got it on sale. So I'm like, all right, let's see how it is. And instantly, when I started the game, started playing through the game, the music, I was like, oh my god, the music sounds good. Okay. The gameplay, I was like, ooh, okay. I already know they had parry and dodging, but just doing it just felt good. It felt really, really good. And then once we got into it in the game, we went on our expedition, and when the world just opened and the story just built, it was just like, wow, this is from an indie studio, and the story and the characters are some one of the best written I have seen. Like, I haven't even talked about the characters like CL. I love CL. At first I was saying I like everyone equally, which I still do, but CL, she got a couple of points. Like, I just love how she's like super caring and try to keep the group positive and just kind of put on that big sister / maybe like motherly instincts with the group, with Lune, with Mael, even with Gustavo when he was here with us before he got, out of here. Especially her relationship with Verso, that was hilarious. Like, she is a go-getter. I'm still just like, wow, CL, you really did just be like, fuck it. I mean, I haven't had any, so hey, I get it, CL, I do get it. And then talk about with Lune, of how she is. Lune is interesting. She's very like analytical and like always like staying on focus with the main objective, and I like that. I think that's like a really cool character type trope, and I really like Lune. And then going for Mael, who is probably the most interesting one out of them all, besides I guess Versal, where she was just a regular kid and then ended up fighting in an out that she is part of the family of the painters who made this world. And then obviously Verso pretty much replaced Gustavo. And he's a little bit interesting, had like a little eeriness to him, but he's also like really good, really written as well. um I really liked Gustavo as well. He was like a really, really good like big brother leader, and unfortunately Reinar took him out. And the little family dynamic, it was funny because literally why all this happened is because of the family issues. And one line that really stuck out with Verso saying this family um can't let go of grief or something like that, and it repeats a cycle, which is true. All this has happened because the mom couldn't just get over the fact that her son died, and so she kept his canvas alive and made him into that world to have, to see him and to still have some part of him. And then Reinar trying to snipe her out of it, like, no, you need to close this, he's gone. And that's why he kept doing those wipeouts, with that countdown of the numbers and everything. And then same with Mael, of falling the same fate as her mother because she couldn't let go of Verso and then her friends. So it's all just pretty interesting. Like, this game is just amazing. And with that being said, I am giving this game a 9.5. This game is amazing. This game, and I hate to say this early because we're only 5 months into the year, but I don't know, guys. I think this game might be my game of the year. I don't really see any other games coming surpassing this. I know Wu Chang is coming out, and I'm really excited for Wu Chang. And the other game, what's it called? I think it's called Lost Ashes or something like that. But still, and also, oh yeah, and Ghost of Yotai. Ghost of Yotai might be there with Clair Expedition 33, but I don't know. I think it might be like under it. I don't think it's gonna surpass it, but it might. But yeah, this is my game of the year. I just don't see any games that's coming out this year that's gonna top. It's really good. Like I said, the story is good, the music's good, the character's good. I love this game. I recommend anybody try this out, even if you're not a turn-based player, even though you don't like the gameplay. I still suggest you giving it a try, because you have that dodge and parry mechanics where you can still, protect yourself, do damage. I recommend any person to check it out. If you have a spare of $50, I really, really recommend playing it. I think you will have a really, really, really amazing experience with this game, because this game it's an amazing, phenomenal experience, and it's from an indie studio, not even a AAA studio. And I know it sold millions of copies, sold out the physical copy of this game. This game it's really good, guys. It's really good. I recommend you guys giving it a shot if you haven't played it yourself. But with that being said, these are my overall thoughts of Expedition 33. I hope you guys did like the video. Leave your thoughts. If you disagree with me, let them know in the comment section. I really like to know what other people think. And if you disagree with me, let me know why in the comment section. The next stream I'm going to do is Doom. That's going to come out next week. So look out for that of me just playing that. As for our next game, that big game, story game I'm going to do, I'm trying to think either it's going to be Wu Chang or what is it? The Lost Ashes game. I'm not entirely sure. But just look out for the channel when I go live, everyone. But yes, next week I will be live playing Doom. Ashes. Dark Ashes. So thank you guys for joining. Not joining. Thank you guys for watching this video. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.